Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just Sayin. We are so glad to be back talking about sports this week after our Marvel special last week that we'll get into in just a second. As always, I am Shay, and Jairus, what's our breakdown this week?
Let me just break it down real quick. Okay.
Not that breakdown.
Not that kind of breakdown. That's only at the club. So the breakdown. First, we're going to do our Marvel special recap and tie it into this episode, of course. And then we're going to go over sports news from just around the country. College football as well is right around the corner. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to take a quick pit stop talking about NASCAR. Most recent races, playoff is only about 2 races away, I think. So it's getting right down to the wire. So we're going to go over the standings, going to talk about who we think finishes. Then we're going to go at the plate, doing an MLB baseball standings update, few stats, a little bit of discussion there. Then the big one, NFL preseason. Even though it's preseason, it doesn't matter. It just signals that football is right around the corner, and I am super, super excited. Then we're going to go to center ice, talk a little bit about hockey with the NHL, and then we're going to finish off sitting courtside discussing the NBA, some big signings and some news to talk about there as well. So we're in for an action-packed episode today, and we're going to start off with Marvel.
That's right. Last week, we recorded and had a guest for the first time in a long time, our roommate, Emily, going over everything Marvel. Had a bunch of fun, interesting facts, went over some conspiracy theories, and built our own individual Avengers teams without using, the original 6 Avengers. Talked about what we want to see beyond Secret Wars, beyond the multiverse. So it was awesome. Great episode and great conversation.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved the creativity that was employed. We also went over our rankings for our favorite MCU movies and the most powerful characters in the MCU. So it was a ton of fun, and our guest, Emily, made it that much more special. Thank you so much for coming on. It was just a fantastic episode. I love having a guest again, just adds that extra dynamic to the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely, Emily. Thank you. If you're listening, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Anything new Marvel coming, we'll of course discuss it in future episodes. So be sure to check out that one. That was just a Marvel exclusive episode for us here at Just Saying. But that's enough promo for that. Make sure you just go check it out, please.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.
Exactly. Actually, real quick, Ryan Reynolds tweeted a picture today of the Avengers logo spray painted over with like a Deadpool, like red Avengers logo on top, signifying, yes, he's coming for Doomsday, which we all figured anyway, but
classic
Deadpool antics. Love to see it. All right, moving on to sports. Starting off with sports news around the country.
Not around the world this time. First up, Pennsylvania wins their first Little League World Series title since 1978. So congratulations to the kids that participate in the Little League World Series. Always really cool to see just the younger players that may potentially be future MLB superstars.
Yeah, it's always a great time of year and great thing to see these kids go out and, just play some baseball, have a lot of fun doing it. And a lot of these little leaguers have gone on to become major league players. So we will see them here in the future, the next 8, 10, 15 years. You never know.
Hey, they're a lot better than me.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Moving on. Quick Celtics update here. The Boston Celtics did sign head coach Joe Mazzulla to a multi-year extension, which I think is the perfect move. And Jason Tatum is seen walking around without a cast or crutches. Just 3 months removed from Achilles surgery, reportedly months ahead of schedule. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that is good news. I will say it's always very tricky gauging how a player is, especially after that type of major surgery.
Oh yeah.
So if this is all true and he's feeling great months ahead of schedule, that's fantastic news. But I just want everyone to keep in mind that there can be a setback. Not saying that there will be. Hopefully there isn't. But that this is good news that he's reportedly months ahead of schedule. Very heartbreaking to watch if you're just watching at all. Doesn't matter if you don't like the Celtics or not. Like we said, just seeing a player go down like that is pretty devastating.
Yeah.
The Celtics signing their head coach, Joe Mazzulla, I think is a fantastic move as well. It also shows the team that, hey, like, we're not giving up. This is just a setback. This might be just an off year, but we're going to still be perennial contenders going forward in the East.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
All right, moving on. College football is here because we got our first AP Top 25 poll. Texas edges Penn State for number 1. This is after all the offseason, all the transfer portal, all the recruiting signings. The defending champs, Ohio State, are ranked at number 3. Georgia ranked at number 5. Runner-ups in the national championship game. Notre Dame at number 6. The Gators are slated at number 15, which I was kind of surprised. 10 SEC teams in the top 25 in total. 6 Big Ten teams and all CFP teams are in the top 25.
Yeah, all the playoff teams from last year in the top 25. I'm not too surprised with much of it. Maybe Ohio State, the defending champs, being at 3 instead of number 1 is probably the biggest surprise for me. Other than that, makes a lot of sense in my opinion. But the first week is going to mess up the rankings big time because first week we have Texas playing Ohio State, and Notre Dame playing number 10 Miami. So the first week is going to mess up the rankings right away.
Yeah, for sure. These are just to start the season. They're always going to change. I don't know how good the Gators are going to be, but I've done some research on their offseason, and they're not a bad team. DJ Lagway showed a lot of promise in his freshman year.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what he does. Our old quarterback, Graham Mertz, got drafted to the Houston Texans in the later rounds. But every sign is pointing that they're a pretty solid team, so I'm excited to see what they can do this upcoming season. And I just want to say, I apologize to all of the people that play sports games. I always made fun of people that got super mad at sports games like FIFA and Madden and NHL, all of them, NBA 2K. I'm like, it's a sports game. Like, that's ridiculous. People destroying their controllers. Well, I got a PS5 recently, and I started playing College Football 26. It's the first sports game I've played in well over a decade. And yeah, it's pretty frustrating. Wanted to slam my controller on the desk a couple times, and maybe had a couple instances where I wanted to take my monitor and throw it through the wall, throw it through my window. So yeah, I completely understand now why people get so mad.
Well, thank you for that.
I had a game where I threw a pick 6 in my own end zone. So that was great.
Well, thank you for that. Appreciate the apologies as someone that used to, not anymore, used to play Madden every single year, has not, now plays college football.
It's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, don't worry, Jairus. He's working on it. He wants to get better. He wants to play because maybe we'll stream it in the future.
Yeah, we were already talking about, once I get a little bit better and have a better understanding, we're going to start a dynasty with us and maybe a few other people. I'll definitely play Road to Glory and build my own team. So, yeah, really excited. Just can't quit halfway through the second quarter. It's not easy.
No, it's not. It's not easy.
How about you? How's your Road to Glory journey going?
Dynasty. Yeah, great. I won the national championship with Notre Dame the other day, and now my next season with Notre Dame, I'm 7-0 right now. So
cool.
Got a bunch of 5-star recruits. So.
I'm definitely not anywhere near that.
That's okay.
Yeah, but it's a fun game. It was expensive because with the PS5 and the PSN and the college football, I spent $600. But it's been a lot of fun, and there's other games that I've played. So now I don't have to worry about any cross-platform issues because I have my PC and I have my PlayStation 5.
That's right.
So I'm set.
That's right.
Just waiting for GTA 6.
Still.
But enough about video games. We're going to move on to NASCAR. Shay's going to lead us off with the winners, and we're going to look at the standings and look at the playoff race.
Yeah. While we were gone and we, had our Marvel special, there were 2 races that took place. One at Iowa and the other at the beautiful Watkins Glen in New York State.
One of my favorites.
William Byron did win at Iowa, his second victory of the season. And, surprise, surprise, Shane Van Gisbergen won at Watkins Glen, now his 4th win of the season. Only 2 races now are left before the playoffs. We have Richmond coming up this Saturday night, and then Daytona the following weekend. There are only 3 spots left right now with 2 races to go. And holy shit, is it coming down to the wire.
It is super close. And I just want to say, Shane Van Gisbergen's having quite the season.
Yeah,
I think this might be his breakout.
Oh, yeah, for sure. In 16th, the final playoff spot is Chris Buescher. 15th is Alex Bowman. And 14th is Tyler Reddick. Right now, Tyler Reddick has the biggest advantage. He has a 144-point cushion. So he's almost guaranteed safe. He would need 2 disastrous races, which, especially one being Daytona, is certainly possible.
Yeah. But he's pretty safe.
Pretty safe, yeah. By only about 20-something points, Chris Buescher is in 16th. And then about 40-ish is Alex Bowman. So Alex has a little cushion, but he needs to stay consistent. Right underneath, in 17th is Ryan Preece. Kyle Busch is in 18th, and Ty Gibbs are in 19th. And actually, AJ Allmendinger in 20th is only 3 points behind Ty Gibbs. So 4 drivers outside of the cutoff line that are right there for the final 3 spots.
And how many points separates those 4 drivers from 16?
So Ryan Preece is, like I said, about 20, a little over 20 points from Chris Buescher. Kyle Busch is a lot further behind. He's almost 100 whole points behind.
Yeah, so it's looking like, besides Preece, that those 3 drivers probably need a win.
Yeah, Preece, right now it looks like Preece,
or like 2 really strong finishes.
Yeah, Preece could get in with really good finishes and bad finishes from the other 3. But it looks like anyone below Preece is, they're probably going to need a victory to get in, which, can't happen. There's still 2 races left, so there's still time.
Yeah, I obviously root for Kyle Busch. I always have, and Denny Hamlin. I root for the villains in NASCAR, if you can't tell. With Kyle Busch, the season before and up until this point, it's been pretty rough. He has not had a win in that time frame. Yeah. I don't know exactly where his drought is at, but
I don't know either.
Yeah, it's been kind of a tough break for him. But with Alex Bowman being in the playoffs, it looks like all 4 Hendrick Motorsports drivers are in the playoffs.
I think it'll be the 3rd straight year.
Yeah, that's really cool. And again, like I've said before, Denny Hamlin's having another amazing regular season.
Yep.
But it's all about the playoffs with him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got to get it done.
Exactly.
All right. As we mentioned, the next race is this Saturday night at Richmond. And also with Shane Van Gisbergen having a very strong season, Trackhouse has signed him to a multi-year extension. So congratulations, SVG. And
well deserved.
After winning the Xfinity Series race, so going to the Xfinity Series at Watkins Glen, Connor Zilisch falls while climbing out of the car in Victory Lane and breaks his collarbone. Wow, that'd be a very scary situation.
Yeah, the video was really scary because he said the car was wet from everyone, popping champagne or throwing soda everywhere. And so he slipped and got caught on the window net, and that's how he fell. And the video was really scary because he was motionless on the ground. He wasn't moving. So it was really, really scary. He's okay though. He does have a broken collarbone, as we just said. He did say in an interview afterwards, he's just grateful to be awake and walking. He's getting with his team to figure out how he might be able to race just this upcoming weekend, which would be wild. But he has to get doctor's clearance first. But just unfortunate and tragic situation, but just thankful that he is okay because the video was very scary.
Yeah, definitely could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
But hey, at least people will remember you now for your unintended victory celebration.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving to baseball. Around the bases here at the plate. So I'm just going to go over, as we do a standings update here, just who's leading their divisions, and then we're going to move right into the wild card because that's the most important. We don't need to talk about everyone's records anymore.
Yeah, so after the deadline, we're pretty much in the playoff race as of now. So
in the East, the American League East, as usual, the Blue Jays are still in first place, and actually the Red Sox are now in second, which is crazy. The Central, Detroit still leads the Central, Cleveland 6.5 behind them. In the American League West, Houston is still out front, but they only have a 1-game lead to Seattle. In the National League East, the Phillies still control their division with the Mets, even though they've looked awful recently. The Mets 6 games behind. In the Central, Milwaukee way out in front. They now have the best lead, the best record in all of baseball by 6 games. So
they've been insane over the last couple months since the break.
They're almost a lock right now for the playoffs. And then out west, it's tightened up a lot. The Dodgers are still in first, but the Padres only a game behind. And the Giants maybe clawing their way back, only 9 games back. Pretty crazy.
It's because they have a guy that's willing to play any position.
Yeah. All right. So in the American League, your current 3 wild card spot holders are the Seattle Mariners, 3 games above, the Red Sox, a game and a half above, and then the Yankees. Below them, Cleveland, they're only 1 game back. The Rangers are 2.5 back. Kansas City is 4 back, and the Rays are 5.5 back. So it's a lot. It's pretty close right now. Obviously, there's still a lot of baseball left, 2 months before it gets super close. But still pretty close right now for the American League wildcard spots. In the National League, your current 3 wildcard holders are the Cubs, who are 4.5 games up, the Padres at 3.5 games up, and then the Mets. The Reds are actually behind them, the Mets, only 2 games back for that last wildcard spot. The St. Louis Cardinals, 3 games back. The Giants, 4.5, and Miami, 6. So it's all right now still pretty close in the wildcard race. The question is, will this continue over the whole month of August and all of September? And as we get to the last 2 weeks of September, how close is it really going to be?
What is it with the Marlins selling at the deadline like they always do, but they come back from the break and now they're going on this insane run to get almost above 500?
Yeah, I know. They got to 500, but they've lost the last 3.
What is that? Yeah, and the Rays...
Make it make sense.
Honestly, I haven't watched a ton of baseball, so I just saw that they kept losing, but I'm not entirely surprised that they're not completely fallen off, but they've definitely fallen off from where they were since the deadline. Yeah. But it's still possible with 5.5 games behind, so I'm not going to give up. Yeah. But even if we do make the playoffs, we sold Jose Caballero, our shortstop, and traded away Danny Jensen, one of our catchers that we signed to the 1-year deal. So, and we traded Zach Little, one of our like mid rotation pitchers.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, we kept Yandy Diaz, which was probably our best player, but I guess there probably maybe just wasn't a great offer for him, or teams weren't interested. Third baseman there. We'll do a little bit more in depth next week of the deadline, see like where the new players on their new teams and how they're doing. But the Mariners, they went all in.
Yep.
They got Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor and a few other players with Cal Raleigh, who just hit his MLB best 45th home run on Sunday. He still leads the league in home runs. The big dumper having a great season. So Mariners are 9-1 in their last 10, and they are on fire. I would not be entirely surprised if they win the division.
Yeah, we'll see. The Red Sox have cooled off a little bit, but we did sweep the Astros in Boston, thank God. But we did lose to the Astros last night in Houston. So we've cooled off a little bit, but we're still doing fine. Our pitching has still been great. So I'm still pleasantly surprised with where we are at, because I was expecting another perfectly mediocre season.
Pirates sold pretty much anybody on an expired deal, which is the right call, but still, you just feel for Paul Skeens.
Yeah, he's gonna win that Cy Young for the National League with a losing record.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. One team I'm very surprised with is the Cincinnati Reds. They actually bought at the deadline. Not too far out of the playoffs, but they are 5-5 in their last 10 right now, and they're 13 games back of the Brewers for that division lead, although the Brewers have an insane record.
Yeah, the Reds, they're not going to do anything in the division. They're only 2 games back for the last wild card spot, though, so they need to get in the wild card to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, Braves sold. Not surprised with the season they had, but still very weird to see the Braves sell at the deadline. I feel like outside of the Phillies got the best closer in baseball from the Twins.
Yep.
I kind of feel like, though, outside of a few teams that no other teams like really, really went for it, I feel like a lot of teams played it a little bit safe. Maybe they didn't need to do much to correct their lineup. Sometimes you can overcorrect it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how the standings shake out the last, month and a half of the regular season. Could see a pretty tight playoff race, especially in the AL. And the Rays, they might be a victim of being in one of the strongest divisions in baseball, but they still got their shot as well as a lot of other teams. So
yeah,
it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, as we said, it is just the beginning of August, or almost the middle of August, but there's still over a month of baseball left. So we will see how close it actually is when it's crunch time. But right now, it is quite close for the wild card.
Yeah, it looks like there's still about 40-ish games for everybody. So we still got a little bit of time. It's not like it's a sprint to the finish line yet.
No, not yet. Finally, our last point here with the MLB, history was made, and this is just fantastic. Umpire Jen Powell is the first ever female to umpire behind the plate for an MLB series over the weekend between Atlanta and Miami. Huge congratulations for Jen Powell and baseball as a whole, because this is just great to see.
Yeah, huge step for women in baseball. You just love to see any news like this. It's always great stories.
Exactly.
All right, moving on to the NFL. It's here. Preseason is underway. And like I said, even though it doesn't matter, football's back. I see it on my TV. I see it in the highlights on social media.
Yep.
And my God, have I fucking missed it.
Yeah.
It's a very dark time when there's not football.
Now that you've gotten more and more into sports, you feel what a lot of the country feels that are huge football fans when it's just gone.
It's a very dark and deep depression that takes months to come out of.
That's right. Before we get into just some things, it is preseason. It doesn't matter at all or anything like that. But there's still some players and highlights that we want to highlight and discuss. Before we get to that, though, just some unfortunate news. 2 pieces here. Eagles guard Landon Dickerson, multiple-time Pro Bowler, was injured at practice and carted off the field. Thank God, though, per Adam Schefter of ESPN, it looks like to be a best-case scenario. He's going to undergo a minor procedure on his meniscus and will be considered week to week with the hope to be ready for the season opener against the Cowboys on September 4th. When I got the update, he was carted off and his leg was in a cast. I was not okay. But the worst case scenario was a torn meniscus, which he would have been done for the year.
Yeah, when you hear the word meniscus and torn, 2 words put together, that's a season-ending injury.
Yeah, so thankfully it was the best case and he's going to be okay.
Yeah, unfortunately for Chargers fans, who he just signed his massive 4-year extension, the most expensive for an offensive tackle. Rashawn Slater, unfortunately, has had season-ending surgery for 2 words that you also don't want to see put together: torn patella tendon.
That means your kneecap is floating around in your knee.
Yeah. Like we said, just after signing his massive extension. Yeah. So
awful.
Good news that he did sign that contract before he got injured.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would have saved him a lot. I'm sure that saves him a lot of money.
Yeah.
But no amount of money probably. It's funny because people say in the comments like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. This guy's still making millions of dollars." I would assume the players that get injured still want to play the game that they love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course they're sitting at home with an injury, not being able to play, getting a check in the mail every week or deposit. I'm assuming athletes don't get checks in the mail.
I would think it's through deposit.
But yeah, they probably still want to be out there playing the game that they love and helping their team to be the best that they can be. So
correct.
Sorry to Rashawn Slater. Very unfortunate. Sorry to Chargers fans. They did sign a guy from the Houston Texans to replace him on the depth chart. So hopefully Rashawn Slater has just a full and smooth recovery, and we look forward to seeing you the next season.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully he's all okay. But we have some great news coming out of Duval. Holy shit. Jarris, your Jaguars kicker, Cam Little, nails a 70-yard field goal, broke the record by 4 yards.
But because it's in the preseason, it's not an official record.
Oh, okay.
But it's still super impressive.
Wow. Oh, yes, 100%.
Fucking drilled that.
And he had some yardage to spare. Yeah, was pretty incredible.
If you see Justin Tucker's record, did I say that? I'm sorry. Justin Tucker's official NFL record, 66 yards. He kicked it. It did hit the crossbar and bounced in. This guy, new best kicker in the NFL, Cam Little, drilled it 70 yards with it not hitting anything. Could have gotten a few extra yards on that baby. Money. He
did say after the game when he was asked about it, that won't be the first 70-yarder this season. So we'll see. We'll see if he'll do another one in the regular season and it actually counts. Or because it's Jacksonville, it'll get shanked wide to the left or something. But
it's possible. But I also just want to say, as a Jaguars fan, this is probably going to be the most relevant thing that we do all season.
Oh,
sorry. I'd also like to point out that even in the preseason, I still can't see my teams win because Cincinnati and Jacksonville both lost their first preseason games to the Eagles and the Steelers,
That's
respectively.
Right.
So that's great.
Just lost to the state of Pennsylvania.
But it's fine. It's just preseason. All jokes aside, doesn't matter. But first quarter of the preseason game, Burrow and Chase were out there, and they connected for a 38-yard touchdown.
Still no Trey Hendrickson.
No. Still going to need to score like a bajillion points a game to win.
That's right.
But I love to see it. All right, moving on.
Cowboys wide receiver, and I only threw this in here because it's the Cowboys and fuck the Cowboys. Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb gets absolutely trucked by a referee while he is, in street clothes, not in pads because he didn't play the first preseason game. Just standing on the sideline in the ref's way when the ref is running and, following the play, got destroyed by the referee. It ended up being a penalty on the Cowboys because he interfered in the game. Oh, it was just hilarious.
Any team that needs a linebacker on their practice squad, call up this ref and sign him.
Exactly.
Because CeeDee Lamb got rocked.
It was so funny to see. Oh yeah. God.
Not actually funny, but wouldn't it have been something like if he got injured, like
it would have been something
getting run into by a referee in a preseason game?
Yeah.
That would have been wild.
Yeah. And Micah Parsons, still no deal. Shocker.
Yep. Still has his trade request out. No deal. Good job, Jerry. You're doing a great job. Moving on. Just want to highlight some rookies from this past draft. Everyone's favorite draft slide. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders for Cleveland did very well in his debut. He threw for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I saw a highlight where he escaped 2 sacks in a scramble. So he looked pretty good. And the starting quarterback position for Cleveland, I would say, is definitely there for the taking.
Yeah.
So congrats to Shedeur Sanders. I'll see what else he can do. While running back Ashton Jeanty for the Raiders, number 6 overall, had -3 yards.
Yep.
In his debut. Again, preseason, so take it with a grain of salt. But still, he's going to get every opportunity in Las Vegas. So I still expect him to be a breakout rookie.
For sure.
And Travis Hunter, who Jaguars have still listed him as wide receiver and a quarterback. He did play both positions. Had a little bit of a quiet night, but I thought looked good out there. And also rookie running back Travion Henderson for the Patriots, who was picked in the 2nd round by them, has a 100-yard kick return on his first play of the game.
All right.
Fast. He is fast.
I am speed. All right. Good to see some rookies, performing right away. And then Ashton Jeanty and Travis Hunter, I'm not really too worried about at all.
No, they have the talent. I also want to say with preseason, even though we say it doesn't matter, there's a lot of guys out there that are fighting and clawing their way.
It matters for them.
Good jobs
100%.
and spots on the team. So massive respect to all the players that put in that work. Might not have the talent to guarantee themselves a spot, but they work their ass off.
Yeah, for sure. Next, we're gonna pick a couple of rookies here for like we did last year that we're just gonna try and keep our eye on as this season starts here in a few weeks, and hope to see some success and who we think will see some success.
Yeah. So starting off, I picked 2 offensive players and then 2 defensive players who I think could break out, potentially win defensive rookie of the year or offensive rookie of the year. My first pick for offense is Cam Ward, quarterback for the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
On paper, I think they look better than their record. Not to say that they're going to be much better than they were last year. But Cam Ward, with Will Levis being out for the season, is going to get every single opportunity to prove himself.
Yeah.
My second pick for offensive player is wide receiver Tedorah McMillan for the Carolina Panthers, with Bryce Young showing his ability the second half of this season. And I think the Panthers are going to win their share of games. I think Tedorah McMillan is going to be a huge part of that and could be a candidate to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And then my defensive players, I picked 2 as well. I got Abdul Carter for the New York Giants, with the Giants being, pretty awful team. I think he can really show what he can do. He's got all the talent in the world. Obviously the highest picked pass rusher in the draft. I also put Mikael Williams, who was picked by San Francisco in the mid-first round. With all the cuts they made to their defense, I think he's going to get every single opportunity to play on the team. So I could see him being a little bit more of not an odds-on favorite, but a dark horse.
Yeah. I just have 2 offensive players for me personally. Number 1 is quarterback Jackson Dart with the Giants.
Who was pretty good in his debut.
Yeah, I know.
Preseason game.
We know Russell Wilson is the quarterback and he's going to be starting. But I don't know. Something in me is just saying, hey, Russ isn't going to be playing the entire year. So whether that's because of injury, which, obviously we hope not, or they just throw Jackson Dart in because the Giants, suck and they're 10 games out of the playoff picture. We'll see. But for some reason, I just want to keep my eye on Jackson Dart, maybe because he's in my division. Or my other option is Ashton Genty of the Raiders. Even though his preseason debut was obviously awful for him, I think if even 3/4 of his game from college translates over to the pro level, he's going to be a superstar. He's going to be so much fun to watch. And as I've said before, especially in that silver and black, I can't wait to see it. I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah, I would also want to point out on the Raiders, they had the worst rushing game of the entire league last season. So he is going to get every single opportunity in the world. Yeah. And with hiring Pete Carroll as their head coach, he loves to run the ball.
Yeah, let's for them, they better have a good O-line for him.
Right, true. but yeah, he's going to get every opportunity to make some noise as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally, here in the NFL, fantasy football. Last year, we talked about my personal fantasy league, and we're going to talk about it again. It is going on again. Our draft is slated for August 30th this year, around 6 p.m., and there's going to be 14 people in the league this year instead of last year's 12. So that means the winner gets $700.
Yep, $50 buy-in. You already determined the draft order.
Yep.
With just like a random app or something.
Yeah, website that randomly does it for you. Yeah. So
I'm super excited. Yeah. I've done a lot of research, watching the NFL this past season and doing the fantasy league last year. I think I've really gained some knowledge, so I'm really excited for the draft and hopefully have a much better draft because I picked Stephon Diggs as my wide receiver 1. But yeah, and Isaiah Pacheco is my top running back. That did not work out. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping to have a much better draft. I believe I'm picking 3rd. So I have a high draft pick. Really excited, and hopefully I make the playoffs again.
Hopefully I make the playoffs. So keep an eye out for that. As the season starts, the regular season starts, for our, just our weekly updates and how we're doing in fantasy. If you guys want to tag along, be on the lookout for some fantasy football content just in general. We'll be talking about, players to watch, best players in positions, all that good stuff. Again, who we think, we're not experts over here. But yeah, who we think is going to be a big impact on your fantasy team as fantasy season is about to start.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you would want to see. I'm thinking we could do top waiver wire pickups, maybe a guy that nobody is picking up that's in free agency, maybe you want to pick him up. Maybe we think, hey, this guy could be a good pickup for your team.
Yeah.
Like Shay said, rankings, looking at who had the best performances every week and, give you updates on our league. And who knows, maybe eventually we'll do a Just Sayin fantasy football league.
Maybe so.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is going to do it for the NFL. So good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we're going to move on to the NHL and the NBA. It's going to be pretty quick because it's still the middle of the offseason, so there's just not a lot going on, but still a couple things to talk about for hockey. So first off, Kraken defenseman Riker Evans signs a 2-year deal worth $4.1 million. He had 25 points in 73 games played, one of the only young defensemen that the Kraken have in their pipeline. So he'll be very important for their future.
Yeah.
And the first overall pick in 2025, Matthew Schaefer for the New York Islanders signs his entry-level contract. I believe he is the last 2025 NFL draftee.
NHL
draftee to sign their ELC. Notable. So yeah, congrats. I think they were just waiting for him to turn 18, I think, or something, because he was one of the younger players.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because I would assume that they were going to sign him immediately, but they waited.
Yeah.
So I think it was just because he had to turn 18.
Yeah.
So yeah, congrats, Matthew Schaefer. We'll see if he earns a spot on the lineup. All remaining arbitration cases were settled before the hearing, so no arbitration went to the hearing, including Nick Robertson and Dylan Sandberg, who were the last two. They signed contracts with their respective clubs. The last notable RFAs and pretty big names include young defenseman Luke Hughes for the New Jersey Devils, forward Mason McTavish for the Anaheim Ducks, and forward Marco Rossi for the Minnesota Wild. They are still unsigned. We'll see if they get signed or possibly get traded. The last notable UFAs include forward Jack Roslovic, which just shows you how thin the market is now with all the top guys being picked up by other teams, and defenseman Matt Grzelcyk. I'm kind of surprised that Matt Grzelcyk hasn't been picked up because I think he's a really good depth defenseman for organization, can play bottom 4 minutes, but see if anybody signs him. And then the last bit of news, big news here for the Ottawa Senators, the new ownership, they purchased an 11-acre land in LeBreton Flats to start building their new arena. And it's been a long time coming, going on 6 years ever since Eugene Melnyk was the owner of the team. They've been trying to get this land for a long, long time.
Yeah, definitely huge congrats to Ottawa and the Senators for that.
Sure. So that's it for center ice at the NHL. Now we're going to go courtside for the NBA to round out the podcast.
That's right. Actually, I think today, as of this recording, the schedule is released for the NBA, obviously.
Just little tidbits.
Tidbits, yeah. Not the full, complete schedule, but the big headlines. This year, first time the NBA is back on NBC in over a decade. So that is a huge moment for NBC and the NBA. October 21st kicks off the season with a doubleheader starting between OKC and the Rockets, which is OKC's banner night, which I'm sure is going to be wild. And the other between the Lakers and Golden State. So LeBron and Steph are going to kick off the regular season, which is great. Always love to see.
Yeah, those are two really good opening games. And the full schedule release is on Thursday.
Yeah, October 23rd, the next date of note, NBA Finals rematch between OKC and Indiana. Gonna be a banger. 5 games this year on Christmas Day, headlined by the Knicks and Cleveland. And, I gotta say, I feel pretty hurt that the Celtics are not included in one bit of this news of the highlights to this schedule.
And NBA writing off the Celtics, not giving them a headline.
Yes. Damn. Not even on Christmas Day.
Yeah, because there were other notable games like the Wolves and the Nuggets. So rematch of Anthony Edwards and Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, that's all right. Just no chip on the shoulder. Okay.
Hey, there you go. So, and I think it's funny too because in the Kristaps Porzingis trade, they got Georgis Niang back. Well, they traded him to the Jazz for nothing.
Yeah.
So, okay. Interesting move.
I'm not in their front office. I don't know.
Oh, I'm not either, and I could never be a sports GM.
God, no.
I would be trading everybody.
Well, we're gonna. Real quick about fantasy. This year is going to be a in-person draft for the people that can go. Obviously, not everyone can go, but for the people that can go, and we're all dressing up like we're a real GM because you're the GM of your team. So you are a GM, Jairus. You are a real GM.
I think last year I made 23 roster moves in total. So just saying. Probably be a little bit better now that I have more information.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from the schedule, we have a few signings to discuss to round out the episode. Big signings. These were eligible to be signed, I believe, starting early August 6th, somewhere around there. So first up, the New York Knicks and Mikal Bridges reach a 4-year, $150 million extension with a player option for the 2029-2030 season. Man, there were a lot of people that were kind of split on this, saying that, yeah, Mikal Bridges deserves every single penny. He's such a great player for the Knicks. And there were other people that were saying that the Knicks overpaid a lot.
I think it's a good signing.
The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, but I'd say it leans more towards, hey, Mikal Bridges is a great player for the Knicks, and he deserves this extension. Yeah. And ESPN has already came out, the writers, and have said that they believe the Knicks are going to be perennial contenders for the next 4 to 5 years.
Probably, yeah. Our boy, Luka Doncic.
Revenge tour, baby.
Revenge tour, revenge body, revenge season. Luka Doncic and the Lakers have agreed to a 3-year, $165 million max extension through 2028. And he will be eligible for a 5-year, $417 million supermax deal then, at that point, at 29 years old, which I'm pretty sure is almost guaranteed.
Yeah, he would be the first player in NBA history to make $80 million a year.
Yeah.
At 29 years old. So still well in his prime.
Yep.
Especially if, over this 3-year deal, maybe he throws in an MVP or two. Probably going to get that deal.
And the Mavericks just let him go.
Yep. But hey, they were concerned about his conditioning.
Yeah.
But then what did he turn around and do? It's like
cover Ben's health.
It's magazine. Like when you're in a long-term relationship and it falls apart and you break up with your ex-girlfriend and then you just decide, okay, all right, well, I'm just going to hit the gym and redo my entire image. And then, yeah, look at me now.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
It's crazy. Yeah. Rooting for Luka Doncic, top 5 point guard, in my opinion, for the NBA. Definitely one of the top players overall. It's going to be a pretty good season for Luka, I feel.
Yeah, agreed.
Moving on, De'Aaron Fox, who the Spurs traded for him, got him from the Sacramento Kings. They agree on a 4-year, $229 million extension through 2030. So we have the Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox connection in San Antonio.
Yes, we do. They're only getting better and better.
I love that trade. I wanted De'Aaron Fox to go to the Spurs. I thought that was the perfect move. I was happy when they traded to get him, and extending him, I think, is perfect.
Yeah.
They have 2 very young stars for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to, we've said it before. They know what they're doing. They are rebuilding, or they have been rebuilding, and they are getting better every single year. They have all the pieces. They have the capital. They have the young guys. They're going to be really good for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and before Wembanyama went down with his injury, he was on track to be the defensive player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would say they're building something pretty good. And definitely, arguably, one of the best run organizations in all of sports.
Agreed.
So, really excited. Obviously, really excited for football season. But after that, October 21st and October 12th, NBA and NHL are here as well.
Yep.
So, super excited for all the sports that are coming up. But that is going to do it for this episode of Just Saying. Got through pretty well, a little bit less than an hour. So a great episode there. Let us know if you enjoyed. Obviously, down in the comments, comment on anything that we talked about. Let us know how excited you are for football. Let us know if you're doing fantasy football, and maybe we'll obviously talk about it.
Check out our Marvel episode, please. The Marvel special that came out was a lot of fun, and like we said, we had our first guest in a long time, so make sure you go listen to it if you're a Marvel fan.
Yeah, if you do, let us know as well if you want more guests on the show.
Yeah, want more special content, like special exclusive episodes like that too.
Yeah. Don't forget to like the episode. Helps out a lot with the algorithm, gets us seen, gets us put out there. Make sure to subscribe any color so you don't miss out on future podcasts as well as future YouTube videos. Going to start doing a lot more as football season comes up and throughout the season.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow the socials, which will be linked in the description below. But yeah, that is going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for listening as always, and we will see you in the next one.